on Timeflex Radio.
Live and in effect is Mugen on the internet. Welcome to episode 2 of Radio Raw. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I bring to you today the Teenage Engineering EP 133 KO2. That's a mouthful and it sounds cool, so I like it. And let me just say, this sampler is a beast of a machine. It took a little bit for me to get used to it. There was a bit of a learning curve with learning how to fully operate the machine so I can get the most out of it. And just off the past week alone, getting really down with the machine and studying how it fully works, I've come up with some ways to improve the quality of the music that I made, and I'm very excited to implement that progress. And with that being said, it's test time. I've studied the ways of the KO2. I feel that I'm growing more and more proficient by the day, so let's put those skills to the test. In this video here, in this episode of Radio Raw, I'm going to be sampling and chopping up beats to come up with something I think is pretty hot. I surprised myself with what I was able to create, and I hope you enjoy it as well. And let me know what you think down in the comments below. I think it's hot. Okay, but that's me. So without further ado, let's get started with that satisfying unboxing. Psych, I unboxed it already myself. It was for me and me alone. Come on, get with it. I just showed you the product right here out of box. What did you think was gonna happen? What did you think? You thought that I was gonna boot up this camera and make a beat off of a machine I got fresh out the box? You must be out your mind. All right, what do I look? I look stupid? You think I'm gonna turn this camera on and make a fool of myself, really? First thing I'm going to do is clear out the machine so that we can have a fresh start with the new beat, no hiccups along the way. From working with this machine here, I've noticed that if anything is preloaded, it can get in the way when it comes to making a new project. So that's the first thing I want to make sure I do. And now that the machine is clear, there should be no sound playing through when I press play. Hopefully I did this right. Golden, off to a great start. With this beat I want to cook up, I'm feeling a raw, grimy Mad Lib vibe with this one. I want to have that type of feel. So that's what we're going to go for. I've been listening to a lot of Mad Lib beats, having Loop Digger on repeat. So I want to try to implement that, but put my own style on. I don't want to be a copycat. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to chop up these drums that I have on my computer here. I've got my drum sample of choice already picked out here on my computer. I've got it plugged into the input jack on the beat machine itself. So everything should go smoothly. With sampling it, you're going to hear the drum sample as I sample it live. So without further ado, let's chop up this sample. Hopefully it's first try. Probably not. All right, and that is the whole sample, and we play it here so we know that we have it. So now that the sample is loaded here, we can actually go into chop mode, hitting shift, sample, or with the shift, it is now chop. All right, so now that the sample is chopped, not as clean as I would like, but I do have some clean chops in there that I can work with. And what I'm going for, that's all I really need. There is a way to clean up the samples with these two knobs here, but like I said, I can make do with what I have. So we're going to make it work. Now that we have the drum sample nicely sliced and diced, I'm now going to go into actually making the rhythm with these chops. First thing I'm going to do is set the tempo that I want to go for and then go from there. Well, first what we want to do is make so that I can actually hear the metronome. I'm going to go here, sequence, metronome, and turn that to on so that now the metronome plays perpetually whenever I hit play. And I want it to be at this speed. I'm going to go here. And honestly, it's perfect where it's at. I mean, 98 is kind of locked in right there. So I don't think I need to change it at all. So from the last beat that was at 98, we're going to keep it at the same tempo, I guess. When I go to DJ and mix these beats together, my previous one, the one you heard during the start of this video and the one I make now, it should flow smoothly because they are the same BPM. All right, next what I want to do is set the amount of bars that I have here. Right now it is at 1 bar. That's 4 beats in 1 bar. And to change that, what I did was I pressed record. Brings up how many bars there are. And we're going to do 4. We're going to do a 4-bar phrase here with the drums and then loop those drums over so that when we apply the sample, it can go on top of that. And we won't have to worry about any timing issues. Everything should be right in place, locked in. So here we go. So now I want to brainstorm on what it is I want to go for. I'm drawing inspiration from Madlib's episode XI from the Loop Digger beat tape. So let's see what I can come up with here. What I'm going to do as well is I'm going to group these two together so that they cut each other off, because you can hear the hi-hat at the tail end of 5 after I press that hat. And I don't think I really want that. So let's get a couple test runs in, get it really locked in place, make sure I'm satisfied with it, make sure it sounds correct. And then we're going to go into recording it. As you can hear, the hi-hats in the background do tend to get a little bit jumbled, I would say. They're jumbled, but they also have a rhythm to them. So what I'm going to try to do is try to make that obscure rhythm with those hi-hats in the back. In the background of this pattern here kind of work for me. That's the joy of sampling, trying to figure out how to make a mistake something that actually works for you. Because I didn't cleanly chop these drums by any means. I I didn't go through the effort of cleanly chopping the drums, but I'm going to make it work. That's how I do it. Okay. I'm painting the canvas as I go. The music tells me where it needs to go. So that's what I'm going to do. The sample is the pattern is laid. We're going to work with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to double it, and it should go on for 2 bars. Nice. Now let's see what sample is on the menu tonight. I think I can make something like this work. The drums have a bit of a pitter patter in the background that I can mix into the drums that I already have here. To kind of flesh out what's already going on in the pattern that I have now. Saxophone is jumping. Okay. Okay. Nothing more needs to be. We don't have to look at any other samples. I want to figure out how to make this one work. Make sure that you're on the right scene so you don't overwrite the sample that you already have. Because the previous beat that you heard at the beginning of this video, I made that drum pattern like 3 times because I kept deleting it. All right. I don't want to do that with this one. Okay. So be cautious of that. All right. All right, got the chops ready. So let's see if we can't make this flow together with the rhythm that I already have.
Just so you're all aware, prolonged exposure to the Timeplex radio broadcast can have adverse effects. But I must say, this is some of the illest shit I've ever heard.
Okay. Damn, I wish I was recording that shit, yo. Oh, that was hard. That was hard. And I didn't even use all of the sample. I didn't. All right. All right. All right. Look, I'm gonna mess around and not even add the saxophone. Anyway, look, because this is just heat as it is right here where it's at. But anyway, we're gonna record it. Before my camera starts to overheat, I'm gonna record it. Okay. Here we go. I don't even know how many. I mean, how many bars do I want that to be? I could go on forever, honestly. You know what? Forget it. Forget it. We'll go 8. We'll go 8. All right. Here we go. I got 3 minutes left on my recording for my camera. So we got to make this quick. All right. We got to get this done in one shot. Okay. 64 bars. That's the maximum amount of bars we can throw down on this thing. So let's rock out. Ooh, okay. I lost it there. I lost the flow there, but it's okay. It's okay. We're going to find it. We're going to find it. And we're going to get it done. So by all means, I am completely satisfied with what it is I have already laid down in the machine itself. The drum pattern, the samples, I'm loving it. But I still want to add this saxophone in here, and we're going to see if it can fit in. We're going to see if it can get in where it fits in. It may be a bit too much. I'm going to search for this saxophone in the sample it out, and see what I can do with it. Let's go. All right. That's in the books. Now I'm trying to decide, do I want to sample each individual saxophone note, or do I want to sample the phrases that the saxophone plays? The doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. Or do I want each individual note? Honestly, I think the phrases would sound better. I think the phrases would sound better on this one. And then Later on down the line, if I want to use the same sample on another beat, I can use each individual note so that I can have more variety and have it be different from what it is I'm making right now. So let's try it. Okay, so we have all right. That is come on, man. That is hot. All right. Kicking it in the main. We're ready to rock. Let's go. Let's test the waters and see what we can do with it. It's a bit loud. It might be a bit much. It might be a bit too much. But let's see. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to bring it down. So I'm going to hit the fader level, and it's already on level. It's already on level. So what we're going to do is going to bring this down. Damn. Okay, that's kind of rocking. I was going for a Mad Lib type of vibe, but I just completely switched it up and we on like some cowboy bebop shooting guns in space type beat right now, okay? We're chasing down bounty heads in outer space. I'm Spike Spiegel in the Swordfish hunting down Abdul Hakim right now, all right? We're looking for Asimov Solensen on Tijuana with this one. This is hard. All right. I thought it was going to be a bit much, but it's working. It's working right now. So we're going to let's get it done. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Okay. Before A, my camera battery dies, B, my camera overheats, or C, my camera runs out of space. All right. Let's get it done. Get a feel for it. Let it sit in the ear for a little bit. Don't want to show all my cards too early, all right? I got to keep some aces up my sleeve. Let you feel the piano, feel the bass. We got 64 bars to work with here, so I got time. If I start too early, it'll get repetitive. Get active. Cool it off a little bit. And that's it. That's it. That's it. Yes, sir.